James and M. Foster, a couple on vacation in the Croatian town of Litolka, wake up in their hotel room at an exclusive resort. As they step outside, they notice a gathering of locals preparing for a traditional event called the summoning. The event features various participants wearing grotesque masks, adding to its eerie and mysterious atmosphere. As James and M share a meal, M appears more interested than James in immersing themselves in the local culture. Following breakfast, James watches a racing event and is soon approached by Gabi Bauer, a young woman who recognizes him as the author of a book he wrote years ago. Gabi expresses her admiration for James' work and invites him to have dinner with her and her husband, Alban. Later that evening, the Fosters meet with the Bauers for dinner, and Gabi reveals she works as an actress in commercials. During the conversation, James mentions he's struggling with a lack of inspiration for his next book, and it comes up that M's family is wealthy. As the night progresses, the two couples hit the dance floor, and James and Gabi share a few meaningful glances. The following day, M expresses unease as she learns about Litolka's high crime rate targeting foreign visitors. Despite this, the couple is invited by Gabi and Alban to join them on a drive to the countryside, even though the resort has strict rules against leaving. The four of them spend the afternoon at the beach, where M confides in James about her father's dislike of him due to his profession as a publisher. M, however, reveals that she didn't care about her father's disapproval and admits to hating him. Later on, James excuses himself and goes to a quiet spot to urinate. It's there that Gabi finds him and begins to please him until he reaches completion. Night descends, and the inebriated couples begin their journey back to the resort, with James taking the wheel. Tragically, they hit a pedestrian crossing the street, and the man dies as a result of the collision. Panic ensues, but they decide to move the body to the side of the road before continuing on their way, with Alban taking over the driving duties. The following day, James is confronted by officers who arrive at his hotel room to arrest him for the fatal hit and run. The Fosters are taken to the police station, where James meets with Detective Thresh. Thresh discloses that the car they drove was given to them by his uncle, but in order to protect James, he advises him to lie during the interrogation and accuse the Bauers of stealing the vehicle, which they have already confessed to. Thresh warns James that the punishment for crimes such as the hit and run is death, with the family's firstborn son responsible for carrying out the sentence to preserve the family's honor. However, Thresh presents James with a chance to clone himself, which is a common practice in Litolka for wealthy visitors, allowing his duplicate to take the blame for the crime. James agrees to the plan. James undergoes the cloning procedure, entering a chamber and covering his body in a red liquid. During the process, he has hallucinations, including one where Gabi walks around him naked. Once the procedure is complete, James and M are introduced to his double. They attend the execution, where the victim's eldest son arrives to carry out the punishment by stabbing the clone to death. M is horrified, particularly since the double pleads for his life. M is deeply disturbed by what she witnessed and is eager to leave the resort, but James uses his lost passport as an excuse to stay behind. He convinces M to depart without him, and she complies. James chooses to extend his stay at the resort and meets with Gabi, who explains the situation to him. Alban developed the infinity pool as part of a business deal, but 2 workers died during its construction, and the Bauers were arrested and sentenced to death. The discovery of cloning technology is what has kept them alive. Gabi introduces James to Alban and other wealthy visitors, including Charles, Jennifer, Dr. Modon, and Bix, who have all had clones created to take responsibility for their crimes. Wearing the same creepy masks they wore earlier, the group indulges in debauchery and decadence. They break into the home of a wealthy couple and restrain them while they have sex. However, their fun is interrupted when another guest appears and starts firing a gun at them. Gabi responds by returning fire, resulting in Alban getting shot in the leg. They ultimately create clones to take the blame after being discovered, and they watch their doubles' executions like it's some form of entertainment. Upon returning to his hotel room, James finds M still there and disgusted by his decision to remain at the resort. James responds coldly by telling her to run back to her father. Subsequently, James delves into a drug-induced relationship with Gabi, even participating in with her. At the bathroom, James confronts his own reflection and has a moment of self-reflection. He finally comes to terms with the reality of his actions, admitting to himself that he has lost his moral compass and has become desensitized to the heinous crimes he and his companions have committed. He breaks down and cries, realizing the gravity of the situation and the irreversible consequences of his choices. After regaining his senses, James seizes his passport and boards a bus to escape from that place. Regrettably, Gabi and her gang pursue the bus, and Gabi even fires a gun at it, aware that James is inside. She compels him to exit the bus and walk ahead of their car. Subsequently, Gabi ridicules James by admitting that she had never actually read his book, and torments him by quoting one of the numerous negative reviews the book had received. In an attempt to flee, James makes a dash for it, but Gabi shoots him in the leg. Despite his injury, he continues to walk until he is out of Gabi's sight. After collapsing near a farm, James is taken in by the farmers and given care to recuperate. He experiences horrific hallucinations, such as the eldest son of the hit-and-run victim appearing to choke him and visions of M joining Gabi's gang to torment him. When James attempts to leave, Gabi and her group locate him and coerce him to complete his transformation by murdering his own doppelganger. At first, James refuses, but his double transforms into a wild animal and attacks him, forcing James to reluctantly beat him to death. As he breaks down, Gabi comforts James by holding him and letting him suckle on her breast. The day after, James reconciles with M by expressing regret for his actions and informs her that he intends to leave. He joins the group on a bus heading to the airport. However, as he waits there, James changes his mind and decides to return to the resort, arriving just as the stormy season commences. He sits by the pool in the pouring rain, feeling completely broken from the experience. As the credits roll, we come to the end of this film. But for movie lovers like us, the stories and characters we've just seen on screen stay with us long after the lights come up. That's why I've created this YouTube channel to delve deeper into our favorite films and share my insights in a way that's both informative and enjoyable. From Hollywood classics to independent treasures, I've covered a wide range of movies on this channel, and I'm always on the lookout for new and exciting films to explore. But to keep bringing you these videos, I need your help. If you appreciate learning more about your favorite movies or discovering new ones, I invite you to become a subscriber. By subscribing, you'll never miss a video, and you'll be helping me to grow this community of film enthusiasts. And if there's a particular movie you'd like to see me analyze, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments section. Your feedback is invaluable, and I'm always open to new suggestions. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.